Welcome to the course Formal Language and Automata Theory. In this lecture, we are going to discuss about Turing machine, so which is type 0 acceptor. So in Turing machine, we will discuss about what is a Turing machine, that is introduction to Turing machine, then its formal definition, then instantaneous description, then the acceptable language of a Turing machine. So all these topics we are going to cover in this lecture. Now let us move to one by one. So we already aware what is a Turing machine. In the introduction of formal language and automata theory, we discussed about Chomsky hierarchy of formal languages. So according to Noam Chomsky, the formal languages are classified into four types. Those are all denoted as type 0, type 1, type 2, type 3. So type 0 is the language is called as a recursively enumerable language. Then its acceptor is called as Turing machine. Then its grammar is unrestricted or phrase structured grammar. Then coming to type 1, the language is called as context sensitive language. Then its grammar is called as context sensitive grammar. Then its acceptor is called as linear bounded automata. Then coming to type 2, its language is called as context free language. Then its grammar is called as context free grammar. Then its acceptor is called as push down automaton. Then coming to type 3, its language is called as regular language. Then its grammar is called as regular grammar. Then its acceptor is called as finite automaton. So as per our syllabus, we discussed all these types in the order of the computational power increasing order. That means first we discussed about type 3, then type 2, then now we are going to cover type 0. As for our syllabus, type 1 is not there, but at the end we will see little bit about type 1. So for type 0, the acceptor is called as Turing machine. Now let us see what is a Turing machine. So here first, before moving to Turing machine, here you can see devices of increasing computational power. So what are the devices that increases the computational power? So far we discussed finite automaton. So finite automaton is good for devices with a small amount of memory, relatively simple control. So with a small amount of memory only it contains, only it is good for devices with limited memory, relatively simple control. Then push down automaton, which is a stack based automaton, but both have limitations. For even simple tasks, too restrictive as general purpose computers. Whereas in finite automaton and push down automaton, even for simple tasks, too many restrictions as per our general purpose computer. These are all some of the limitations of the acceptors, finite automaton and push down automaton. Now entering to Turing machine. So Turing machine is more powerful than either of finite automata and PDA. Even in our Chomsky hierarchy, we discussed Turing machine having highest computational power than all other previous three types or three acceptors. So Turing machine is essentially a finite automata. So which is similar to finite automata, but what is the difference here? What is the additionality? So Turing machine contains unlimited memory. That is the new thing here. So Turing machine is essentially a finite automata, but with an unlimited memory. So that's why it contains infinite amount of memory. Although in theoretical can do everything as a general purpose computer of today can do. That means if a Turing machine cannot solve it, neither can a computer. Suppose nowadays any problem that can't be solved by a Turing machine means even that can't solved by our digital computer as of today. That's why it is more powerful model among all the computational models. So then, as usual, Turing machine is a type 0 acceptor as per Chomsky hierarchy. Acceptor or recognizer as per Chomsky hierarchy of formal languages. So Turing machine accepts type 0 languages. So the language is called as recursively enumerable language. That is type 0 language. So Turing machine was invented in 1936 by famous mathematician Alan Matheson Turing. In simple terms, we'll call it as AM Turing, who called it an A mission. Here A stands for automatic. So now this is the other name of Turing mission. Sometimes even in GATE exam also, this type of questions you will get. In Turing mission, A mission, what is meaning of A? Nothing but automatic. So Turing called this mission because of its powerful computationality. So called as A mission means automatic mission. So this is the history of Turing mission. Now, well before the day of modern computers, but remains a popular model for what is possible to compute on today's system. Even today, so this model is most powerful. Then advances in computing still fall under Turing machine model. So even if they may run faster, they are still subject to the same limitations as per the Turing machine model. So that is the importance of Turing machine. Then coming to model of Turing machine, model or block diagram of a Turing machine. Earlier also we discussed for all other models like push down automaton and finite automaton. So we have the functional diagrams of each and every model. Like Turing machine also we have model. Here we mentioned one point, Turing machine is essentially a finite automata, but additionally it contains unlimited memory. That is the only difference. So you can take the finite automaton model as it is. So what are the changes? Those can be incorporated here. Now let us see this model diagram. As usual, same as in finite automata, it contains a finite controller CPU, which consisting of set of states. Then input tape is there as usual in finite automaton, but here the input tape is with infinite storage. See here the tape is extended towards left infinitely, then it extends towards right infinitely, then the movement of the tape to read the input symbols, that can be done by using read write header. So based on the state of the finite control, the position of the read or write header will be on any one symbol which can be stored on the input tape. So here the tape may move in both directions, towards left or towards right, but one direction at a time. So here additional difference between finite automated Turing machine tape. Here the tape we'll call it as Turing tape. Earlier in finite automata, we'll call it as the input tape, but here we'll call it as specifically Turing tape, so which is infinite. So infinite tape. So the Turing tape consisting of various input symbols encoded with one special symbol, which is called as B, is a blank symbol. So the blank symbol is placed to the left hand side and to the right hand side of the input symbols. So at left end a blank symbol is placed, then at the right end blank symbol is placed. In between blank symbols the inputs are stored. Here another important factor related to Turing tape, this can act as both input and output. That's why here separately output component is not there. So the Turing tape can be considered as both input and output. So whenever input is stored, after scanning the input, that can be erased. Then output is stored. So like that, it will act as both input and output. So now let us, this is a model of Turing machine. Now let us see the components description briefly. So Turing tape, also called as infinite tape. So the tape consists of cells, same as in finite automatic input tape, where each cell holds a symbol from the tape alphabet. So here, in addition to sigma, that is input alphabet, here it takes a tape alphabet. Initially, the input consists of a finite length string of symbols and is placed on the tape to the left of the input and to the right of the input, extending to infinitely by placing blanks. So for our convenience, the left end should be restricted initially. So will be placed a blank symbol or the first input symbol. So the input can be stored from left to right cell. Then whenever if you want to extend the input based on its size or length, so the tape length is extended towards right. So by placing blank symbols. Then Turing tape can act as both input and output. Just now we mentioned. It's a very important point. The Turing tape can act as both input and output. Then coming to read or write header. So the read or write header is initially positioned at the leftmost cell holding the input. Then the movement of read or write header is in both directions. That is either left or right, but one direction at a time. Now, in basic Turing machine model, we will restrict the movement of read right head towards left to right only. So only for a basic model. Then finite control or CPU. So as usual in finite automaton, in one move or transition, the Turing machine will, what the Turing machine will do in one move or transition, it changes the state, which may be same as the current state. Then write a tape symbol in the current cell, which may be same as the current symbol. Then it move the tape head towards left or right, one cell. So one direction at a time. So these are all the functions of finite control or CPU in one move, what Turing machine will do. Then coming to formal definition or mathematical definition of Turing machine. As usual in finite automaton also, so we have the tuple definition of Turing machine. So now a Turing machine denoted by M is a 7 tuple, same as in pushdown automaton, denoted by M equal to Q, sigma, tau, delta, Q naught, B, and F. Here you can say in PDA also we have 7 tuples. There also we have tau, but in place of B we have Z naught, that is the initial symbol of the stack. But in place of Z naught, now here the Turing machine consisting of a blank symbol denoted by capital B. Then in PDA, tau is stands for stack alphabet. But here in Turing machine, tau is called as tape alphabet. Why? Because in Turing machine now the tape is most powerful device. So here we will call it as tape alphabet in place of stack alphabet. Now let us see, remaining all tuples are same as in PDA or in finite automata, where Q is non-empty finite set of states. Then sigma is an input alphabet. Here sigma is subset of tau, that is tape alphabet. Sigma is subset of tau. Then tau is finite set of tape symbols called as tape alphabet. In Turing machine, tau means tape alphabet. In pushdown automaton, tau means stack alphabet. This difference you can remember. So then where Q naught is in capital Q, that is Q naught belongs to Q, which is initial or start state. Then B is in tau, that is B belongs to tau, which is a special symbol called blank symbol. So B is not in sigma. That means the blank symbol does not contains in sigma. Sigma does not contains blank symbol, but tau contains blank symbol as well as sigma. That's why here sigma is subset of tau. Then F is subset of Q, that is set of accepting or final states. Then delta is a mapping function or transition function. So which can be mapped from, see the delta definition of Turing machine. which takes the set of states Q cross, then it takes the tape alphabet tau, derives, gives, again it gives the set of next states cross, then the tape contents, then cross, it gives the direction of the read write header also. So here both directions are included. L stands for left direction, R stands for right direction, but one direction at a time. So here you can see the difference. In PDA, we have Q cross tau to Q cross tau closer only. But here we have direction also in the Turing machine. So that is the difference. Now Q cross tau to Q cross tau cross L comma R. L stands for where L is the movement of read or write header towards left direction. Then R is the movement of read or write header towards the right direction. This is the formal description or mathematical definition of Turing machine. So then let us see one example of a Turing machine. So a Turing machine M equal to the 7 tuples Q sigma tau delta Q naught blank B and final state F, where capital Q equal to Q naught Q1. So the set of states. Then sigma input alphabet is small a and small b. Then tau tape alphabet equal to A comma B comma blank. Now you can see, so sigma is subset of tau. That's why whatever the input symbols in sigma all are included in tau also. But tau additionally contains blank symbol. Then F is a final state. Final state is Q1 here. Now delta is given below. The transitions are given below. See, the transitions are in this form. Delta of Q naught, that is capital Q, cross. Here now we won't use sigma in the definition. In place of sigma, we'll use tau. Derives. Again, it gives the next state Q cross. Again, it gives the contents of the tape tau. Then it gives the direction of the read or write header. Now here you can see the direction is right. So next move is delta of Q naught on input B equal to, it is going to same state. Then there is no change in tape symbol. So B is replaced by B only. Then direction is right here. Then delta of Q naught on blank symbol, it changes the state to Q1. Then blank is replaced by blank. Then it moves left direction. So here, if you can see diagrammatically how to represent this one. So now this is the Turing tape. Initially, the finite control will be at Q naught state. So now here input A is there. So now after this, then what will happen here? Now you can see the movement of the read write header. So here A is replaced by B. Now this A is replaced by B. Then the state is same only, but it is moving towards right. So it is moving towards right means the state is moving towards right cell. But here right side what you have contains, initially we have only A followed by blanks. So here what we have, blanks we have. So this is the move in the right hand side part. Similarly, here right direction means it is moving towards right cell. If it is left means moving towards left. Now you can see the second transition. Second transition diagrammatically how to represent. The finite control will be at Q naught state. Now here the input is B followed by blanks. Now this will becomes, now blank is replaced, the input B is replaced by B. So then there is no change of state. Then it is moving towards right direction. Means the state will be here at Q naught. Now Q naught, the current tape symbol is blank now. Now you can see the third transition here you can observe. So now the finite control will be at Q naught state. Here the tape symbol is blank now. So now followed by all others also blanks. Now this will becomes, now it is changing the state. So blank is replaced by blank. Then it is changing the state to Q1. But here you can see the direction. The direction is it is moving towards left. See, initially the state is at the first cell here Q naught. Now it is moving towards left means Now here the state is Q1. But before blank left hand side also what we have, if nothing is there means blank only. So that is the movement of read or write either towards left or right direction. So this is the operation of Turing machine. So this is the example of Turing machine. Now as usual in finite automaton and push down automaton, so Turing machine also can be represented diagrammatically using the transition diagram and transition table. Now we can see diagrammatically how to represent. Now the transitions you can write once again here. The first transition is so delta of Q naught on A equal to Q naught. A is replaced by B, it moves right. Then delta of Q naught on B equal to, it is going to same state Q naught, B is replaced by B, moves right. The next transition delta of Q naught on blank equal to, it is going to state Q1, blank is replaced by blank, moves right. These are all the transitions of the given Turing machine. So now here you can see how to construct or draw its transition diagram. As usual, all states are denoted within circle. Here we have Q naught state, then Q1 state. So here F equal to, in the given Turing machine definition, F equal to Q1. So Q1 is represented within double circle, that is final state or accepting state. Then initial state is prefixed with an arrow followed by the phrase start. Now see the transitions are denoted same as in push down automaton. Here first Q naught on A, it is going to Q naught, that is loop. Now here the input is A. Now that is replaced by B. So here before after separated by slash or R symbol. So A in the left hand side of the move, then B is the in the right hand side of the move. That means the tape contains before after reading the input. So before initially the input is A, then after reading the input that is replaced with B. Then comma direction. Direction you can represent either capital L or capital R as per the moves. So A by B comma direction. Then second transition is Q naught on input B. It is going to Q naught again loop, same loop. So you can separate the labels using single loop. Now it is going to same Q naught state. Here the input is B. Now after reading B, so what is the B after replacement? B is replaced by B only. So B by B, comma the direction is R. So R like that you can represent. Then the third transition from Q naught on blank symbol. So it is going to Q1. So now you can draw a transition from Q0 to Q1 state with an arrow or arc or unidirectional arrow. So now here the tape symbol is blank. Now blank is replaced by blank. So blank by blank, comma. The direction is L here. So L. So now see all the transitions. So this is a transition diagram of Turing machine for the given example. Similarly, we can draw the transition table also. The transition table is also as usual simple. Here what you have to do, you can take Q by tau combination, states and tape symbols. The tape symbols equal to sigma union blank. In sigma, whatever the inputs, all you can consider it as tape symbols. So sigma we have a comma b, lowercase a b. Then blank is in tau. Therefore, tau equal to sigma union blank. So a b blank. So all tape symbols you can include in one column, one symbol in one column, including blank also. Now Q0 state, Q1 state, all states you can include under the heading of state row wise. So initial state you can include by prefixing an arrow. Then final state you can represent within a single circle in the table. So now the transitions are here, whatever the transitions given in the delta function. So Q0 on the tape symbol A, the next move completely you can write down. Directly you can write down the next move here. On input A, the next move is Q0 comma B comma R. So this as it is you can write down. So Q0 on tape symbol A, the next move is Q0 comma B comma R. Then similarly Q0 on tape symbol B equal to Q0 comma B comma R. So here Q naught comma B comma R. The right hand side, whatever the move, as it is, you can write down. Then Q naught on blank equal to the next move is Q1 comma blank comma left. So this complete move in the right hand side, you can write down as it is. Q1 comma blank comma L. Now from Q1 state, you don't have any transition on any of the tape symbols, including blank. Therefore, all are mentioned as hyper. That means no transitions. So this is the transition table of Turing machine. So like that, any given Turing machine, diagrammatically or graphically, you can represent using its transition table and transition diagram. So then coming to instantaneous description or configuration of Turing machine. Same concept we discussed in pushdown automaton also. But see the difference between the PDA ID and the Turing machine ID. An instantaneous description abbreviated as capital ID or also called as configuration of Turing machine. So this mission, the Turing machine for this ID requires the state of the Turing machine is in. Which state the Turing machine is in. Then what are the contents of the Turing tape? Then the position of the tape, read or write header on the tape. So these three are required to define an ID or configuration of Turing machine. Now formally, how to define this one? You can see the definition of ID, instantaneous description. So let M equal to Q sigma tau delta Q naught blank F be a Turing machine. Then any string, let us say A1, A2 and so on, AK minus 1. Then we have taken the state also Q1, then followed by other inputs, that is AK, AK plus 1 and so on AN. In the input string A1 to AN, so here we have taken the position of the read write head randomly at any one input symbol. So that will be at AK input symbol. Now the state, the Turing machine is in Q1. So with AI belongs to tau. That means A1 to AN all are in tape alphabets. And Q1 belongs to a state of the Turing machine. Now this is an ID. So this is the general form of ID. So now here you can define the moves of this ID. So how to define? We have two cases. So one is moving towards right direction, another one is moving towards left direction. The first one you can see a move A1, A2, AK minus 1, Q1, AK, AK plus 1 and so on AN. So here Q1 and AK are represented in red color, means the current state is Q1, the current input symbol is AK. Now a move from one ID to another ID is denoted by the symbol, pipe symbol, same as in push down automaton also. Now here you can see, so this move is changing to in the other form, that is A1, A2 and so on AK minus 1. Now here you can see, here we got B and Q2. Then other strings are as usual, AK plus 1 and so on. Here you can see what are the changes happens. The state Q1 is changed to Q2. Then the input AK is changed to B. Then here you can see the movement of the direction. So earlier the state is before AK. Now it moves to after the replacement symbol. That means it moves right direction. So when this is possible means whenever the following transition is exist. So that is delta of Q1 on input AK. That is current state is Q1. Current tape symbol is AK equal to the next state is Q2. Here Q2. Then AK is replaced with B. Then the movement of read or write head is towards right direction. That's why the state is placed after the replacement symbol. Right hand side of this, the state is placed. So when this is possible means whenever this transition is exist. So this is one step. The second step, same thing, the movement of read or write head towards left cell. Now you can see the same sequence ID A1, A2 and so on, AK minus 1, Q1, AK. Q1 is the current state, AK is the current tape symbol and so on. Then the other form of the movie is here A1, A2 and so on. Now here you can see the state is again changed to Q2. The AK is replaced by B, but the movement of The read or write header is towards left cell. Now you can see before the state is before AK. Now it moving towards left to one input cell. There AK minus 1 is there before. So before AK minus 1, the new state is placed. Before AK minus 1, the Q2 is placed. Then this AK is replaced with B. So this movement careful you can observe. Only one step over one tape symbol. It moves either towards left or towards right. So when this move is possible means whenever the following transition is exist. So that is delta of Q1 AK equal to Q1 is changed to Q2. Now AK is replaced with B. Then the direction is towards left. So means earlier wherever the Q1 state. So before one symbol towards left, the new state is moved. So this is the movement of read write head, either left direction or right direction, but only one direction at a time. So this is the instantaneous description or configuration of Turing machine. The entire operation of the Turing machine depends on these two steps of movements, either towards left or towards right. Then coming to acceptance of languages by Turing machine. Every automaton we discussed about acceptance of strings and languages by their respective acceptor, like in finite automaton, then deterministic finite automaton, then push down automaton, in all automatons. So we discussed the acceptance of strings and languages. Similarly, for Turing machine also. So here directly we will take the language acceptance. Automatically, string acceptance will be included. So acceptance of languages by Turing machine. Here the language is called as recursively enumerable language. So Turing machine accepts type 0 language, that is recursively enumerable language. So abbreviated as REL. So the input string is placed on the tape and the tape head begins at the leftmost input symbol. If the Turing machine eventually enters an accepting state, as usual, by reading the symbols from the tape alphabet from left to right. So after reading all the symbols, whenever it moves to a final state or accepting state, then you can say the input is accepted. Otherwise, it is not accepted. Here, acceptance case only one we have, whereas in PDA we have three cases: acceptance by final state, acceptance by empty stack or null stack, or acceptance by both combination of final state and empty or null stack. But in Turing machine, the acceptance case is only one by reaching the final state only. In finite automata also same. Then more formally, this can be defined as let m equal to q sigma tau delta q naught blank f be a Turing machine. Then a language L is accepted by a Turing machine is defined as L of m equal to w. W is the string. So now we have to verify the acceptance of this string. Then automatically the language is also accepted. Such that here you can take the ID of the Turing machine from initial state q naught followed by the given string q naught w by using ID definition. Then finally, if you will get the sentenceal form of the form alpha 1 p alpha 2, where the state in between alpha 1 and alpha 2 should be a final state, at least one state. Then alpha 1 alpha 2 in tau closure, that is the contents of tape alphabet, and whereas w is belongs to tau closure from tape symbol combination only. So whenever here whatever alpha 1 alpha 2, don't bother. So if you will get a final state in between, then we can say the string is accepted. Then automatically the language is also accepted by the Turing machine. Now let us consider the same example what we discussed earlier. So a Turing machine m equal to q sigma tau delta q naught blank f, where q equal to q naught comma q1 are the states, sigma equal to a comma b are the input alphabets, then tau tape alphabets are small a, small b, and blank. F equal to q1 which is the final state, and delta is given below. So same transitions. Delta of q naught on a equal to q naught b r, then delta of q naught b equal to q naught b r, then delta of q naught blank equal to q1 blank l. So the same example considered here. Now let us check the strings AA, BB are accepted or not by the given Turing machine. So here two strings are there. So separately we have to verify. Now let us see the first one. They are very simple. So first here what we have to consider, As per the ID definition, you can take Q naught W. So Q naught is the initial state. What is the W here? AA. Now you can see Q naught A. What is the transition that you can substitute? So here the moment of state also we have to change. Then the tape symbol is also replaced. Q naught on A equal to A is replaced by B. Then it moves towards right direction. So now this A is replaced by B. Then it moves towards right direction. Same state. Now Q naught. The remaining input is A here. So here it is not changing the state, same state. Now you can see, now the current state is Q naught, current input is A again. Now Q naught and A again same transition. So here the new symbol remains same. Now A is replaced with B. Now it moves towards right direction after A. So now Q naught. So after A here nothing will be there, means you have to consider by default blank only. Now you can see Q naught blank, the third transition. Q naught blank equal to, it is changing state to Q1. Blank is replaced by blank, it moves towards left. Here you can observe movement of the read or write header towards left. See now the BB remains same. Now blank is replaced by blank. Now it is moving towards left. Here you can see. So now here what is the state here? Q1. The new state is Q1. Now you can see this is in the form of alpha 1 P alpha 2. Even further after alpha 2, whatever let us say, it is in the form of alpha 1 P alpha 2. So that is B Q1 B. Further no need to include blank. Now here you can see what is Q1 here. If Q1 is the final state, then only it is accepted. Here Q1 is the final state. So therefore here Q1 belongs to F. Therefore it's satisfying the condition of acceptance of strings by the Turing machine. So now the same thing written here. It is in the form of alpha 1 P alpha 2 where Q1 is the final state. Therefore the string AA is accepted. That's all, very simple. Similarly, take another string BB. So now your current string is BB. Now Q naught BB. Now Q naught B. See what is the transition? So Q naught B equal to same state. B is replaced by B, moves right. Now see the configuration. Here B is replaced by B. Then it moves right one cell over B. So now same state Q naught. Now the next input is again B. Q naught B again same. You can repeat. B is replaced by B. Then it moves towards right one cell without changing state Q naught. So after B nothing is there, means you can take blank. Now Q naught blank. So it is changing state to Q1. Blank is replaced by blank. It moves towards left. So now here you can see it moves towards left, means here you will get B. Then Q1. The B remains. Further no need to take the blank. Now see it is in the form of again alpha 1 P alpha 2. So here what is P Q1 you got? What is Q1 final state? Therefore here also the string is accepted. So like that you can verify the acceptance of strings as well as the languages. If any string taken from your language is accepted by Turing machine, then the language is also accepted by the Turing machine. So now another example also given here. This you can practice. So checking the string whether it is accepted or not. Anyway, solution is given. You can practice it. So here in this example, here you can observe. So whenever we are verifying the acceptance of the string AB with this Turing machine, here you can see the Turing machine not getting accepting state. Even it is repeating. Here you can see, suppose A Q1B, you are getting Q naught AB. Then again here you can see A Q1B. These two are repeated. Now see Q naught AB, Q naught AB. So whenever you can apply these transitions, always repetitions are happening. That means we are not getting accepting state. Even if you will get non-accepting state, okay, we can say the string is not accepted. But here, this Turing machine never halts. This is an instance of a Turing machine that doesn't halt. That means even at accepting state or non-accepting state, it is not halting. That means the Turing machine is in loop. This is one example of Turing machine which is having loop. So in this case, we say that the Turing machine is having an infinite loop. That means never halts. This is one of the undecidable problem of Turing machine. So we can't define solution because of there is no algorithm, there is no procedure, there is undecidability. So in the concept of undecidability, again we will review the Turing machine halting problem. This is one example of Turing machine which is in infinite loop. Okay, now we will conclude this one. Here, what we discussed: first, introduction to Turing machine, the computational power of Turing machine, then formal definition, then instantaneous description, then the language of a Turing machine, that is recursively enumerable language, then acceptance of languages by Turing machine, and demonstrated with example problem.